Welcome back. Well, during the break, we gathered more of your questions about unemployment benefits and how the state is handling things during the COVID-19 pandemic. We are continuing our conversation with Richard Labers, the Deputy Commissioner of New Hampshire Employment Security. And let's get right to the questions. Brandy asks, my husband's company cut the salary of all salaried employees in half for the month of April and possibly May, but their hours weren't cut. Would he be eligible for benefits?
Well, from an unemployment perspective, in order to be eligible for unemployment benefits, you need to have both a reduction in pay and a reduction in earnings. The wage and hour issues, that is with the State Department of Labor here in New Hampshire, not with Employment Security. But in order to be eligible for benefits, someone needs to have a reduction in hours, a reduction in pay. I would encourage them to contact the department and look at filing a claim. Also, that employer might be eligible to take advantage of our WorkShare program, which again is a way to avoid layoffs with just a reduction in hours, while the unemployment system, through the federal funds that we are receiving, would pick up those lost wages and provide that $600 payment. So a great opportunity maybe for that employer.
All right. And Jill asks, recently Governor Sununu stated that he would raise the minimum weekly unemployment checks to $150 per week. Why is mine less than that?
So with the minimum unemployment benefit being raised, that's part of the new federal program with the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. So individuals that have federal eligibility through their what is a COVID-19 related scenario, they would be qualified for that federal minimum, which is $168 per week. And then we add on top of that the $600, which came in as that UI Plus payment through the CARES Act as well. That programming is still going into our system. Individuals that are eligible still need to go in, continue to file their weekly claims. They'll continue to receive their state portion of that. And then when that program is complete, once we get our answers to our questions from the federal government as to how we're supposed to be rolling that out, we'll be able to start paying those additional minimum benefits. We'll go back to your first week of eligibility. We will make whole with those benefits that you had already received and fill that gap between what you were receiving and that $168 plus the $600.
Okay, and Richard, we've also received a lot of questions about delays and problems reaching the office. And Deborah Burns from Ringe is asking, how long is it going to take to get claims filed that have been pending?
So right now, today, with all of the weekly payable claims that came in and what we've paid out, New Hampshire just experienced the most successful day in state history in terms of the number of people paid and the amount of benefits that went out. We paid 35,000 individuals this morning for $10 million in one single day. Looking at what that looks like in terms of a percentage of who's been paid, we've paid out about 70% of the continued claims that have been filed since March 17th when Governor Sununu increased eligibility. But what right now our focus is on, it's on that other 30% and figuring out what particular issue, whether it be an earnings-related issue, maybe out-of-state employment, maybe self-employment issue, that is preventing the other 30% from being paid. We're not focusing on the 70% that we've paid. We're focused on that 30% and moving those claims into payment status as quickly as possible.
We have many more questions that have been coming in, and we will get to those right after the break.